All right, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I guess I shouldn't say evening, should be considered of people being in other time zones and regions. But we are in for a treat tonight. We have MisterJGiggles and Richman running RBO. So anytime we get RBO matches, I think we're pretty lucky. And today's a pretty heavy RBO day. I think we have at least 3 RBO matches, so that's pretty exciting. But as we wait for the runners to ready up and get set up, I will pull up some stats so we can kind of get the full feel of this race and its implications. All right, so the runners both ready up. Um, Pretty typical Fantoon here, or not Fantoon. Ooh, jumping way ahead here. But pretty typical series station. Everything's the same here through basically the first 7-10 minutes as every other. All right, so we're moving along here. We've taken out Ridley here for the first time. Baby Ridley, as it's been referred to several times or before.
Here, baby.
All right, so for PBs for these race, for this category, Jay Giggles has a 117 time, whereas Richmond has a 131. Now, I'm not sure how much either of them have grinded the category for that much time, but I do know Rich is pretty capable runner, so I'd say, even though there's a big gap in that, I feel like we have a pretty even match, at least from a 10,000 foot. We got both runners using Moonfall, so appropriate fall speed is not a thing for about the next 2 hours, or potentially up to 2 hours. Hopefully, not that long, but could be. Apologies, I had to relocate myself really quick. All right, but now I'm resettled in here. Apologize for that delay, but I just didn't think where I was that Minnie was going to keep her voice down. But so both runners about a 450 to 457 mob time, respectable times. I'm going to take care of GT really quickly here. Try not to explode his head, just explode his whole body all at once. Probably not the nicest thing that anyone could do, but it's going to happen. All right, both runners out of there pretty quickly. So this is an interesting strategy that I have not seen. JGiggles going up to Gauntlet. So I apologize for lying to everyone, saying it's about the same as every other category, but here we go. Here's a little something different. Assuming JGiggles figures that this is the best E-tank for the time, that it's not a tank that I usually believe I've seen grabbed an RBO, not that it can't be. It may allow him to only single dip Meridia or Norfair or one of them, not do as much backtracking. We'll find out. And to me, this actually makes this race a little bit more exciting. So we're going to see a little bit different strategies, not the same route. Although RBO, I would say, unless you're absolutely top tier at it, there's no real set route. Most people just do the best that they can in order to survive. And I doubt he confused it for rando. Too good of a player to do that. Grab some extra missiles here. Now, one thing I find really interesting about this category is how many regular missiles someone grabs, along with how many super missiles they grab. The regular missiles can come into play a little bit with fighting GT, because at 32 missiles, GT does the arm wave thingy that can take up some extra time and be a pain. So, yeah. But yeah, so the first, I don't know. I would say this route is almost half early gathering, and then, well, maybe a little less than half, but a quarter gathering, a quarter potentially Ridley, a quarter potentially Meridia and Dragon, and then the last quarter of the game is, I don't want to say easy, but it's definitely not the most challenging for our runners. So an interesting note for this race, for this category is You will find some people who argue that this is not true RBO. It's actually reverse Golden 4. There is a glitched category where you can kill Mother Brain first and then go through everything, but it's an interesting watch, but I doubt that it's ever something you'll see in a major tournament setting, but who knows? So Rich gathers Spazer, and we'll see if JGiggles. That's a pretty, at least it has been historically in me watching. I've seen that farm spot used a lot, and it's definitely one that is used in RBO pretty much exclusively. I don't think any other category uses it at least extensively like that. So Rich is probably going to go grab the high jump boots, get that tank here, and then do hell runs over to Bubble Mountain. So JGiggles going up the red tower. So another little diversion, perhaps using this as his power bombs pickup. I mean, I guess I'm pretty confident in that, because if he goes to fight Van Toon, that's kind of game over. But this is one of my favorite things about this category, and even GT Classic to somewhat of a point. You just see small differences, or sometimes pretty major differences. Rich taking the safety save here, just in case he can't make it across the Rising Tides room. It is far from free. Although with 3 E-tanks and Rich's skill, I don't have much doubt he can make the run, but I also, the key to, racing is to stay alive, so. Also, it's Saturday night, so staying alive, you can make your own BGs, joke, John Travolta jokes. So that's a plus for us. We got some nice puns going on here. Some really timely pop culture references here from me. Rich makes it across pretty easy, saving after Bubble Mountain. We're gonna go do the. He's probably gonna go farm up and go get speed. JGiggles picking up Spazer. I'm really interested to see how JGiggles' route plays out. I've not seen this. So I'm really interested to see how it plays out. I see it. I see where it makes sense. I don't know how it will all come together. How the soup will be soup. All right, Rich gets his speed booster. Gonna go to wave after this. That's an assumption, but I'm pretty confident in it's the double chamber is definitely up there with worst rooms in the game for RBO. Worst room in the game is pretty bad in RBO, but it's not. Most of the time, the runners will have screw attacks, so it's not. It's not absolutely the worst. It's more just kind of like not the best. Some nice movement by Rich. JGiggles taking his safety save here. I don't know if it's I don't know if I'd really call it a safety save because it's a I don't know. I feel like people say that it's more like someone is playing. I don't want to use the word scared, but cautious. Whereas in this category, it's pretty. The whole category, at least through the first half or so, is not very cautious at all. Very nice work through there by Rich. The double chamber exiting out here. JGiggles manually tripping his reserve tank just in case. That can be a really tight window there. Most our runners are going to be very good enough to do that with pretty minimal health, but it doesn't take much for one of those wombat thingies to hit you. That is the technical name also, wombat thingy. And for RBO, it's one thing you'll notice is the runners will generally manually trip their right reserves. I think it winds up that if you do not manually trip them, you basically end up only getting about 75% of what's in the reserves because you continue to take heat damage as it loads. So there's that. Bridget Croc, so everyone bust out your favorite Croc emotes. Croc, vital to the RBO run as much as he is vital to everyone's lively enjoyment, and he is the one you should always bet on. Both runners playing really well so far. Very, I don't want to say safe, but keeping themselves in good health ranges, taking chances, but taking the right chances, and just being pretty smooth so far. So that's exciting to see. I think this double chamber room for that JGiggles is in is most dangerous here coming out on the exit, or one reason it is because if you miss time the jump, you hit the spikes. When you hit the spikes, I think you take 60 damage without any protection, so you're kind of getting hit pretty hard with limited health while being heat damaged. It's a bad time. It is not fun. All right, Rich going to grab the grapple beam, which this is an interesting thing about this category is it's one of the rare times that you really need grapple. Other than, I mean, it's a luxury in other categories, but I think it's the only one you really have to grab it in, other than 100%, because 100% requires you grabbing everything. All right, now let's see where Giggles is off to. Not grabbing, doing Croc. Perhaps going to get the waterway E-tank? Could be going to get X-ray too. This is a category where X-ray is useful if you so choose to do that. But it's only useful in a couple of spots, and Well, really one spot. So, I mean, you could use it, but it's really not that. I guess it's not as helpful as I initially thought. Okay, actually looking like retro Brinstar cleanup for JGiggles. So I expect he'll grab the power bomb packs here. Go do, well, shoot. He's just making me look silly. So maybe I was right about Waterway. I think I am. Please, everyone, mark this down in the annals that I was actually correct for once. It doesn't happen often. Although I do believe after this I could see him going to get. I could go see JGiggles going to get the ceiling Retro Brinstar E-Tank and power bombs over in Retro Brinstar. You'll probably see 15 to 20 power bombs from our runners today, maybe 25, depending on their skill level or comfort level. Rich with very nice ice grab here. But for lower Norfair, you need basically you need a crystal flash basically as you enter lower Norfair. Then you've got to farm back up to get generally you'll see a crystal splash outside of Ridley. Farm back up, go kill Ridley, and then pick up the Ridley E-Tank. And then you need one more crystal flash as you exit the lower Norfair or Norfair in general. And then you'll probably see a final crystal flash done in Dragon's room in order to take out Dragon and store a spark, because we'll talk about that more when we get there. But basically, if Dragon grabs you in a crystal flash, you keep a spark. Shout outs to the Sloater's refill Richman using right there. So Rich on his way up now. Probably going to be doing a lot of the same things. Alright, so Giggle's going to go down here, get some more ammo, an E-Tank. It's a good time. See some animals. Rich doing the retro Brinstar thing. Rich just demolishing everything with the speedball there. Alright. JGiggles grabbing a few more power bombs here. Alright, so I'm guessing Rich is going to go get the Criteria Supers here in the climb. After that, I mean, I guess he could go do Gauntlet if he chose to. That's really his decision, I guess, not mine. JGiggles using some missiles there so to take out the pink door, so it will be not pink when he gets here later. Very nice spark to deboost to spark up to get those supers. All right, so JGiggles going in a little bit of a different way. So coming to the same place, but gonna powerbomb those little things to death because he does not have ice, nor is he choosing to use the that one thing I talked about, the deboost. There we go. So Rich's gonna go grab his gauntlet tank. Looks like he's gonna refill here. But yeah, so in this category, you will see them kill Ridley first, and then Dragon, and then Phantoon, then Kraid. I don't want to say they have to manipulate, but they have to. They kind of have to manipulate the game a little bit. Nothing too major, but just it works out so perfectly that. Oh, how did they choose to? I'm not really sure. Yeah, they could agree to run it. One of them could have denied GT Classic. One could have denied the any percent all bosses, and then they were stuck with this. But I give it to a lot of our runners. I think a lot of them are not necessarily playing it safe. They're in it kind of for the show a little bit too. So they're excited to race some of these tougher categories with low ice and RBO. Also, there's a few that have, they want to run RBO because while the person they're playing is very good at RBO and they're okay at it, there's still a high variance and high risk of death at, a Ridley or some kind of weirdness happening at Dragon, and, you can take advantage of that as the lower, as the underdog. But I also know that there's a lot of runners who are just doing it because people want to see this. Yes, RBO is a super cozy category. We could ask several people. Obviously, our runners shouldn't really talk to us right now, but we could ask Kip in chat. I mean, he's only got like a top 3 time in it, so he could tell you to the coziness of it. So we're gathering our stuff. So this should get Rich to the 15 cap. Not sure if JGiggles is there. You will want to see the runners will have anywhere between 20 and 30 missiles, probably for GT. I'm gonna guess 25 to 30 is going to be it. I don't think we're gonna see. I've let Kip borrow one of my children to give him permission to tell all the dad jokes he wants. Right, so like I said, there's a lot of gathering of items here before we get into the super funness of this route. Looks like Rich was going for Mission Impossible and may have just kind of got a little happy and messed it up a little bit, but no big deal. lose a couple seconds coming out of here, but it is a really cool trick to hit. All right. Shout out to Croc making his second appearance this run. I hope everyone's happy to see him because I sure am. Honestly, I don't know why we're giving Croc this exfoliation bath here, but I really feel bad for Croc. I think Croc is just misunderstood. I think Croc has a lot of good qualities, and I think Croc is just held hostage by that spike wall. So he's not really trying to attack Samus as much as he's just trying to say, hey, help me out here, and it just does not work out. All right, so yeah, so Croc gets a little bit too much exfoliation, but you know, everyone pour a nice drink of water out for Croc. Did not deserve the fate that was met, but you know, Croc is the hero that we need, not necessarily the hero we deserve. I mean, with Samus being a bounty hunter, I would expect her to be a little bit better at intergalactic language, but you know, yeah. I mean, bounty hunting really is a story of two sides. You know, you got the bounty. You know, they're probably not all good people. You got to make some questionable decisions. And we're not even talking about like low risk questionable decisions like me eating roller food from the gas station. We're talking like life and death things. Okie dokie. So we're pretty. I don't know who we would say is ahead at this moment. I don't really think there's a great definitive place to say someone's ahead until at least you're going into deep into Norfair, but so I think there's someone in chat, Kip, who would say this might be actually the worst room in the game during RBO. The one that JGiggles is in, because you got to get there so smooth, and it's an awkward traverse. And once you spend just a little bit too much time in there, you have to go back and you have to refill again. So I will take it from the experts that JGiggles at Advance. I'm, obviously just a simple pleb here, and but I'm always fascinated by this. This is like we discussed, or we discussed, as in I said a bunch of words about it. It might be the worst RBO room in the game. It's definitely up there, if not. Rich looking like he was trying to use spider ball strats, which does not exist. I would say the reason for double Meridia is just more stuff. Mo is better. Shout out to JGiggles making the lava dive. So, gonna come out of here. And we're gonna see our first crystal flash of the game. Or the run, or yeah. And crystal flashing is achieved by obviously going into a morph ball and then performing several instances of black magic by hitting buttons on the control pad. I believe he is 11 Ganon falls ahead, but that is a complete and total estimate. Ripper refills here, always nice, always nice. Also, great job getting the green gate glitch first. Yeah, green gate glitch, also another difficult part of this run. Maybe not as tight as GT, but it definitely can get you in trouble. Most of our runners are really skilled at it, but it only takes one time for you to just be somewhat off constantly. And I'd imagine, because I'm not good enough to do this, I'd imagine, you missed your first 5 and you expect it. Things starting to tense up a little bit. Doesn't feel good. All right, so JGiggles going to go grab these soup. They're going to come down here, trap GT in a corner because apparently he doesn't understand that walking forward hurts Samus. But there's that. Very important that you find the right lock point here, because while you can do it, there's a pretty wide window where you can do it. If you're shooting those supers at him, it can call it. Like, there's a few places that you could still be safe, apparently, and the supers can still get thrown and hit you. I know we're racing Super Metroid, but Zelda lore does have quite a bit of questionable things in it, such as why this uncle and just leaves his nephew in the middle of the night to go fight monsters. Rich in a tough spot here. Yeah, that's tough. Norfair is just pretty big. It's not easy. It's hard. It sucks. I don't want to say it sucks like that, but it is not an easy thing to do. So coming up to the so-called worst room in the game, which is not an easy room in this category by any means, but it's probably not the worst. Although that little, I mean, it only takes a couple little bobbles here, and our runners can be in trouble. You want to make sure you fall and hit the right spot here, because you don't want to start taking acid damage here and heat damage. So interesting fact. So while it only takes 10 of each ammunition to do a crystal flash, you actually need 11 power bombs, because you need one to activate the crystal flash charge. So I expect that JGiggles here will farm up the fire fleas to get a little bit of extra power bombing is. Also wanting to get out of there without taking much damage, because you want to make this run down to this save as long as as easy as possible. If he chooses to save here, I can't see them not choosing to save here. Good job to Rich there, getting the lava dive on the second time. Alright, we got some crystal flash action going on for Rich. That is not what Giggles wanted. He wanted to hit that, because now this just throws the timing all off. It's going to make his timing throughout the rest of this portion a little more difficult, I think. Some of our better runners could probably correct me for being just not smart, but yeah, I feel like he's going to have to crystal flash earlier than he'd want to, on top of farm. Okay. I'm just gonna. It's just a tight window. I mean, I know it's possible to farm up the energy here. It's just a tight window, and me being not good, it's just wow. Our runners are good. Good job by Giggles. That was awesome. But also, race strats and PB strats a little bit different. So Rich just took a hit from GT, which is probably obviously not what he wanted. He's really help. Come on. Ah, jeez. See, Rich, I think, took that one hit to GT, and that's all it takes. It's brutal. All right, so we're gonna have a crystal flash here, so that gets us up to. So I think he hit 7 of 8 particles, so he should have enough supers to make this happen quickly. Ridley cooperating with the pogos, throwing on the ice, loading up the beam a little bit to finish things off. And see here, there. It's just not easy. Rich getting it on the first try, last try there. Oh, this race is stressful. So stressful. Oh, excuse me. I mean, our runners are good, but man, that was tough to watch. Very. I mean, I'm not envious of their position. Looks like Giggles had a little bit of trouble with the space pirates, a little bit. Again. Chuck and Steve just trolling him today, unfortunately. That was a little tough too. Gonna get here to the farming spot. Hopefully, we're gonna probably see a pretty epic farming session again. So yeah. Make sure to follow our runners for doing this for you. Apparently the command's not working, but follow them. They're good people, and they're good people putting on a great show here. I mean, unfortunately for them, they're giving us a show of like very good skill mixed with show of how just a little mistake can cost you big. Rich, unfortunately, are giving the not so classic left side pin for GT. So let's hope he can get through here. You look, if when GT throws those missiles just in the right spot, it's pretty close to Samus's back foot. So short work there. Great job. Glad that he got through that. Going to refill here. JGiggles better shape, I think, to go into this Ridley. So let's see how it goes. Also using the second X Factor strat, I believe, is pretty dangerous simply because Ridley is going to be coming down at you. It looks like Giggles may have missed one or two supers, so that could be potentially dangerous. Supers do double damage. I think he just got hit by the tail too, maybe. And then the fireball. So this is going to be tight here. Yep. So I don't want to say we're even, but we're pretty close between the two runners right now. Rich is kind of by benefit of they're not far apart. I get that. right, Rich. Now, JGiggles again. All right, so let's see. Hopefully, the Space Pirates cooperate for giggles a little bit. We got a little bit better luck there, so that's good. JGiggles with mad farming skills here. Just kind of taking it easy. Waiting to get the crystal flash here. A lot less clinch. All right. Giggles in his best position yet so far, so that's good. Excited for that. So let's see what we get with the get all four there. I don't know if we yep, no. So the flame hit that early, not good. Space Pirates are just not being great to our runners here. I mean, now we have Rich is technically in the lead now, but as we've seen, this is not an easy fight, and you know we're not going to basically say anything until now. After this. Some might say we have sync here, I think, is the what the kids say. Alright, it's getting okay drops. Get a little bit better, but alright, here we go. So the X Factor particles each do, I believe, 300 damage. So it's nice, but regular super missiles do double damage to Ridley. So they do 600 damage. He has a total of 18,000 HP. So if you did just supers, it would be... Alright, Rich not getting great tail luck there, but it would be 30 supers if you did just supers. All right, let's hope Jiggles can get through here. All right, we got him down. Plenty of energy. All right, now we get a little bit of a farming fest here because we're going to need... good news for Rich is he's got plenty of power bombs. So he just really has to worry about getting the supers. He'll need at least 10 so he can do the Crystal Flash. It'll probably be around the Three Musketeers or just before there, I believe. So, yeah, there he goes. Probably going to want 1 or 2 for safety. So this is still a difficult exit. So yeah, there's a small lead for Rich here, but as Kip pointed out, there's a bunch of little things that Giggles has in his advantage. He does have the tube, which he can get the quick entry into Meridia, so that'll save some time. Alright, here we go. Maybe I was wrong about the Three Musketeers, but I'll be wrong again today, guys, I promise. So Rich is gonna play it safe and do the Crystal Flash in the save room where he doesn't have to worry. But I mean, we got a race, so this should be exciting. Good end. Dragon still provides a pretty big save and a pretty big obstacle. After that, it becomes a fairly quote unquote easy run. I would hate to say that. Now, screw attack does make this better than not having screw attack. Without screw attack here, you'd be screwed. So interesting. Rich taking some acid damage that could be detrimental. Great quick fall. All right, through here. Nothing worse than seeing someone dying to the flying ball there in RBO, which I have seen, and it's a sad, sad sight. Thank you for the input, everyone. Giggles out of the farm before Rich, so all right, they gotta make sure they have enough power bombs here. For the crystal flash required at Dragon. All right, so Giggles using the tube here, going to do the tube entrance, which is pretty fun to watch. Unfortunately, did not get it cleanly. All right, about to see some crab strats. All right, and up we go. Here we go. We're climbing. Rich retakes this. There's just so many little things here. For those of you who don't know, the reason you see the runners here, what's the word I'm looking for? Crouch before jumping in a lot of places. It gives you some extra height. I don't know why. Somebody who's, again, smarter than me can explain it, but it helps you jump higher. All right, here we go. All right, so Richman going to come through here. Definitely got to... I don't know what I was about to say, so excuse me. All right, Rich with the grapple jump thingy first try, looks like. Yep, all right. So then we're going to see some manipulations of Metroids here in order to do the ice clip, and then we're going to see everyone's least favorite snake. This is not where he wanted to freeze that Metroid, but it happens. All right, so snake fight. All right, so the freaking snake's hitbox being a pain. Rich saving up some supers, I believe, possibly, to avoid some farming. We're going to see the runners pick up this E-tag just because it's easier, I think. Yep, Giggles with a good snake. Rich coming out of the snake here. Picking up that farm little bit of a farm action there. I doubt either runner will get the full halfie here. I didn't say never. I said they may. I doubt. Now, sand in this room can be pretty brutal in this category, so you want to stay out of it. There's spikes down there, and it's just a pain to get out of. Some people tell you it's impossible. Apparently, it is possible. I don't want to be the authority on that, so. All right, we're just going to take a save here just to be safe, because it does require some danger to exit this, and it's not an easy. It's an interesting fight, anyways. Vehicles with the same save, so we're going to take out the turrets here, and the runners should okay, Rich is in good position to quickly get into crystal flash range. Nice meme health there for a second. So what's going to happen here is Rich is going to wait for a goop stage, and then going to hit the crystal flash. Most runners prefer the goop come from the left to right, or right to left, excuse me. So when Dragon picks you up while you're in that, you you'll see the speed echo still. Rich was able to catch up because Giggles took 2 deaths to Ridley, and it worked out for him. Then JGiggles took the lead again shortly after farming by Croc, and then yeah. All right, both runners getting the quick kill about the same time, so we've got a race still. I mean, not that we never had one. Who can get the balance out here quickest? All right, let's hope the runners do this pretty easily. Feel always a little scary to me. Just squeezed in there. Squeezed it. Rich is saving the spark there. Right there is the big key. The big key to Ganon's tower, right there. Right now we see the run to Fantoon. And I have good news for everybody. There's another RBO race on right after this one, so get your drinks ready or something. I know Kip is on comms for that. I can't think of who's actually racing it right now. Somebody might be able to help me out there. Yeah, so here we go. As Asder just said, I'm pretty sure we're pretty much out of RBO territory. There's a little section in leaving here through the Forgotten Highway that's kind of RBO specific, but I don't think it's too bad, especially for runners this experienced. I would have to say that Rich is probably on PB pace by a pretty significant PB also. At least potentially. All right, Forgotten Highway hype here. The now remembered highway hype. All right, so both runners have their plasma. Rich getting a little confused there. Definitely got to farm a lot of the XP here. So Giggles having a little bit. I would say Rich just got here through here maybe a little bit smoother than Giggles. Maybe not perfectly, but a little bit. And I think would all pretty much agree that this is a pretty close race. So all the little things are gonna count. Rich did not hit that in the way he wanted to, but quick recovery. Freaking pancakes. Is that a known place that you can like mysteriously ledge grab, or did that just kind of happen randomly? So spikes don't work when power is out, apparently. So okay, so there's a frozen pancake. You can eat frozen pancakes by putting them in the toaster. All right, so big important thing here is the runners need to actually remember to go fight Kraid after this. People have forgotten Kraid. Looks like Rich getting a slow. See what. All right, good job. Is that slow mid? So let's see what Giggles gets. Not a fast. Also gets a slow, I believe. minutes. All right, so looks like Rich is remembering to go down to Fantoon, so that's a plus. Always a fan of not forgetting that kind of stuff. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. But nothing, obviously, important parts of the game. You know, you got to kill Kraid, otherwise you don't win. But so here we go. Let's see about how far ahead Rich is right now. Entered mini Kraid room about 1650. All right, here we go. Kraid making short work of that. All right, so looks like Rich got about a 35, 40 second. So with that amount of lead, as long as it doesn't get stretched out here or anything like that, I think we will definitely see an attempt. Baby Skip could play a pretty significant role, could help close the gap. I don't think it'll close the gap completely, but it will definitely, obviously, help if Giggles got it and Rich doesn't. So both runners have pretty good ammo going in here. They won't have to be too conservative, I don't believe. Especially Giggles, those super missiles make up for a This is really exciting. I hope everyone is enjoying this. So coming up at 9:30 on SpeedGaming 3 is Maniacal versus Kishmo. So that'll be commentated by Kip and Android Dream. So that'll be pretty exciting. So right after this, everyone go stretch your legs, get a drink of whatever you want to drink, and settle on in. All right, Rich gets to take a little bit of a break here. All right, so let's see how these Metroid rooms go, which strategies the runners use. Some will group, some don't. Both runners here very experienced. I'd expect to see some pretty nifty movement here. Baby Skip could close the gap quite a bit or stretch the gap, depending on who gets it and who doesn't, or if they both get it or both don't. I think it's pretty safe to say that the runner that finishes first will win this race. Looks like Rich is going to do grouping strats in room 1. No, I think that's a fair statement there, Kip. Even if he is aware, I think it's interesting that you're just doing something that you normally don't do, and Rich is not known to be super first in RBO, so maybe you just kind of forget, or maybe normally he picks up Varian, didn't pick it up this time because of just because of words. Oh, because of the race scenario. There we go. Neither runner currently in great shape to, well, Rich is definitely not in good shape to get the all right, so Giggles currently not in the space to do so Giggles getting this could close it out. Now, the question is, does then Giggles go get the refill for health just because? Excuse me, to open up stand-up glitch? I don't know, because he hasn't gotten there yet, and I do have ESPN, but not for that. But I think he's gonna do the refill, but yeah. All right, so Rich through with the Zeb skip there. So both runners can shoot pretty freely here. They don't have to worry about sniping as much as normal. Rich gets it. All right, so Giggles, good, smooth there. All right. Everybody good on ammo here. Rich missing a couple of shots there. Just need 20 shots here, just like any percent. Get your full beam load. Mother Brain hits hard when it's just power suit only. Yeah, very careful. Whew. Mother brain. She hit hard. Rich being careful. All right, Rich with about a 5 shot there. Good job by him. And here we go. All right, Rich taking the safe right side. All right, Rich gonna come in here. It's like about a 127.25-ish. That's unofficially, officially. I believe that is that is a PB for Rich by about 4 minutes. So GG to that on top of just GG on winning. All right, Giggles coming in here. Looks like a 127.51-ish. GG to Giggles here. Great job to our runners. Really appreciate and great run by both runners. Really appreciate everyone taking the time to do that. That command is still broken. I shouldn't have tried to use it, but follow our runners. Great people, great community. I mean, it's the rest. It's the race we wanted. Well, I think we all wish they wouldn't have died when they did, but a good race is all we can ask for. And thank you too for providing that. On that note, as we roll through here, there is another race, SpeedGaming 3 at 9:30. Maniacal and Kishmo going to be commentated by Kip and Android Dream, so that will be great. So I suggest everyone go take a break, stretch your legs, let the dog out, whatever it is you do, and then yeah, then come back, watch the race, and let's have a good night. Unfortunately, I can't do interviews at the moment because I've got to go take care of small children. But again, thank you to everyone. Thank you, chat, for putting up with me. And have a good night. Hope to see you guys all later.